What is up, everybody? Back with my top 10 albums of the year list. 2024, amazing year for metal. Ton of awesome releases. Finally have my 10 sorted out and ready to go. We'll give honorable mentions at the end, as I usually do as well. And I just will say real quick, this is always my favorite list and video to do every year. It's great to give exposure, bring attention to bands and albums that should be way bigger than they are. A lot of these big sites don't really do too good of a job on any of their lists, in my opinion. So hopefully I can put y'all onto some pretty good stuff here. So my number 10, going to get into it. I'm going to go with Kingdom Torn Asunder by the band Iron Flame. Love these guys. This is their 5th album. Very consistent from them. All really good. But this one, just really, really awesome. It's kind of a blend of speed, power, traditional metal. If you like 80s Halloween, Judas Priest, Queensryche, you're going to love this if you haven't heard of them by now. But their main guy, Andrew DeCagna, amazing musician, great songwriter. He's got an awesome voice. Really reminds me of 80s Jeff Tate, but that's just kind of soaring, majestic, very awesome voice. Looking at these songs, I'd probably go with Blood and Honor, Majesty of Steel, and Mistress of Desire as my favorites. All of it is really good, though. Check it out if you like classic power metal and speed metal. My number 9, I'm going to go with Knocked Music by the band Poltergeist. Now, I know there is, I'm sure, several other bands called Poltergeist. I know there's one from back in the day, but this is a newer, new Poltergeist, and this is their first album. They have an awesome, unique sound. They blend punk, goth, and traditional metal, which for me, I don't listen to a lot of goth or punk on their own, but when they're mixed together, those elements are in there with the traditional metal. I think it's got a cool sound, awesome atmosphere, very dark, kind of dreary, haunting songs here at times. And looking at these, Eternal Nightmare is a really good one. Yesterday Fades, for sure my favorite. The standout track, just amazing guitar work, very catchy vocal melodies. I love this guy's voice as well. It's kind of that monotone style a little bit, but I think it fits the music very well. Just gives it a nice haunting, dark feel. And just that song, especially Yesterday Fades, is amazing. So check that one out if you're going to check anything out from this album. And We Will, or Will We Ever Live Again, as another favorite on the album. But awesome stuff, very unique, a bit different. It kind of also reminds me of Unto Others. If you're a fan of them, check these guys out for sure. Moving my list down here. On to number 8, I've got Tales of Mayhem by Interceptor. Now, this is their debut album. They've got a great classic sound. I think a lot of these newer bands try to, tell people, hey, we got the classic sound, we got the classic production, and they don't. But I think Interceptor definitely was able to capture that, and they do it really well. Sounds like early 80s Venom with the production. And, if you like first couple of Venom albums, you're going to love this. It's very aggressive, got that classic first wave black metal sound. Awesome musicianship. The riffs are really good, especially just on like Witch's Dance and the title track. All these songs, for the most part, are really good. No Mercy, another favorite, and Violent Metal. Check it out for sure if you like just early first wave black metal, and some traditional Judas Priest and all that elements are on this as well. My number 7, I've got Prequel to Madness by Traveler. Awesome band. This is their 3rd album. They're in the new wave of traditional heavy metal, so very Iron Maiden-esque, that style. Great guitar work, dual, harmonizing, majestic, great solos, just ripping stuff here. Really good vocals as well. The songs, very catchy. There's great, great choruses. Good stuff. Looking at the songs, No Fate's great. Take the Wheel, Mayday, definitely are my favorites on that one. My number 6, I'm going to go with Versus and Oath by Hulder. Big fan. Seen Hulder 3 times live. This is their 2nd full-length album. They've got some EPs and stuff as well, but they do a really good job of being kind of unique, standing out. I think that they have, they mix in like kind of medieval elements to their music, which is kind of interesting. There's kind of like church choir, just angelic harmonizing vocals at parts that I think give it a cool, unique sound, especially on the song Harken the End. It's got an epic build-up, some of that style vocal, then it just transitions into a very heavy, epic song. Great riff, great tone. Love the kind of muddy guitar tone on this album. Very dark and just great stuff. And as I said, Harken the End, great song. Boz Ablaze and probably Enchanted Steel are my favorites. Moving on, so that was my number 6. My number 5, I'm going to go with Visual Kill by the band Saidan. Really, again, another unique, awesome sounding black metal band here. They're one of my favorite modern black metal bands. They do a great job. It's a really refreshing style and sound, I think. They mix in some synth, great guitar work. The tone and the riffs are really good, very memorable stuff. It's their third album already, and they've only been together since 2020, so very persistent and consistent with their releases. Looking at these songs, I'd probably go with Genocidal Blood Fiend, Desecration of a Lustful Illusion, and Tears Seeping Through Beautiful Agony as my favorites. But check them out if you are a fan of Cradle of Filth. I think is a band that they kind of could be compared to, but also they have their own unique twist and sound and style to their stuff. My number 4, I'm going to go with Spell Shock by Bewitcher. It's their 4th album, a really cool band. I will say that I think this is easily their best. They are kind of like a blackened speed metal band usually, and there is a lot of that on this album, but I think that they do kind of lean a bit more in the direction of traditional metal on a lot of this, especially with the guitar riffs. I think just great classic sounding stuff. I love the vocals. It is still harsh vocals, but nothing too crazy. So if you're a fan just of classic stuff like Judas Priest, I think you're going to love this. Very catchy songs, great songwriting. I love a lot of the choruses. Love the vocals all over the album. A lot of good, well-written songs for sure on here. Looking at these, a couple favorites. Ride of the Iron Fox is definitely my favorite, I'd say. Title track's great, and The Harem Conspiracy, another awesome one. So again, just great classic sounding, black speed, blackened, traditional mix all together, and it's just really well done. My number 3, I'm going to go with Jat by the band Sabire or Saber. I might have mispronounced the album name and the band name, but finally this is their full length. They've been around a while. Finally got this full length out. A lot of people have been waiting for it, but I think that they have another band. I've been saying this a lot, but a lot of these bands are actually being unique and kind of having their own stuff. And this one, they kind of describe themselves as acid metal, which I think they take a lot of influence from Wasp, especially with their image, but the sound, you know, it's got a lot of distortion, kind of an echoey sound to it, which I think is really cool. It's unique. The singer's really awesome. He's the leader of the band. His name's Scarlet. But yeah, I think a couple of the standout tracks on this one, I'd probably go with Pure Fucking Hell, Call Me Bastard, Just a Touch of Acid, and Rip Rip Kill. But great guitar work, really great drumming, and just the songs are really, really great. And yeah, that is my number 3. Now my number 2, I will say, just came out, and it was a surprise album. It's from a band and a musician that I absolutely love. That is Satanic Warmaster, Exaltation of Cruelty. Werewolf is the leader and main guy of the band. You know, he writes and does everything with them. And, you know, I think he's allergic to making bad music. You know, he does a lot of projects. Satanic Warmaster obviously is my favorite. They're one of my favorite bands, but he's done traditional metal. He's done a lot of different stuff, and it's all good. But looking at this, he was specifically making it a point and thing that he wanted to do, go back to the early 2000s, late 90s style that Satanic Warmaster originally had. He even switched it back to their original logo on the album art there. That, you know, just very cold, dark, icy feel to the music here. Great atmosphere, great riffs, amazing vocals from Werewolf as always. He's one of my favorite black metal singers. Looking at these songs, Hearken the Bells of Damnation is just absolutely amazing. That is my favorite song on the album for sure. Love the riff, love the rhythm to the song. It's just absolutely perfect. I Inhale the Cruelty of Winter's Breath, another great one. And a great instrumental on here is Lord of Blood and Darkness, and really nice melancholic end to the album with the song A Dead Rose for a Dying World. Just a really cool, majestic song. Amazing album from Satanic Warmaster and Werewolf. Great songwriter, great musician. And before I get to my number 1, I've got some honorable mentions, obviously. First one I wanted to talk about was Under the Southern Light by the band Toxical. Very close to making the list. If Satanic Warmaster didn't just put out this album, and it was a surprise album. Like, nobody really knew, as far as I know, that was coming out, but if it didn't get put out, I think Toxical would have been my next choice to make the list. Now, the rest of these are kind of a random order, I'll say. But I think Witch Vomit, probably my favorite death metal album of the year. Hauntologist, really cool one. It's the drummer from Magua, one of his projects. Stress Angel had a really great album. I'm just going to list through some of the bands. Show and Tell, really cool modern, new wave, traditional heavy metal type of stuff. Spectral Wound, great black metal. Achilles, however they pronounce their name, really cool. They just capture evilness and darkness really great in black metal, and just awesome stuff there. Primordial Serpent had a couple of good albums. Great solo black metal project from Canada that just pumps out awesome albums. There's however many albums he's got now, like at least 5. But Wraith had a good album. Antichrist Siege Machine, Attic, and Judas Priest. I think Judas Priest probably was the best classic band putting out an album this year. It's close between them. Saxon, Flotsam and Jetsam also had a good album. But that is mostly my honorable mentions. And by classic band, I mean bands that are from the 80s mainly with their stuff. But looking at the rest of my list, that is all my honorable mentions. I'm sure there's other great ones. You can tell me in the comments if I didn't mention them. But my number one, if you have been watching the channel for a while, you probably saw this coming, but it's Inquisition, veneration of medieval mysticism and cosmological violence. It's a mouthful, like all of their albums. It's the only one I actually have a CD, physical copy of. I need to get on buying some more stuff. But Inquisition, I absolutely love. They are my favorite black metal band. They are my second favorite band of all time, just behind Megadeth. But two-piece black metal band, Dagon and Incubus. Incubus on the drums. He's a freaking machine. Amazing drummer. And Dagon, vocals, guitar, songwriting. You know, his guitar tone is absolutely amazing. He is one of my favorite guitar players of all time. Just very unique and dirty and freaking awesome guitar tone. Muddy, heavy, awesome stuff. Looking at these songs, Witchcraft Within a Gothic Tomb to open it up is one of my favorite songs on the album. Really could just list all these because they're great all the way to the last track. But Crown of Light and Constellations is great. A Hidden Ceremony of Blood and Flesh, which was the first single they put out, and I knew right from when I heard that, whenever it was, a year ago now, or maybe a little more, that the album was going to be amazing. Just great song there. Force of Death is The Force of Life is another great one. All these songs are amazing. Heavy, dark, evil, amazing black metal with amazing riffs, and everything about it is great. So that is my number one, Inquisition, on the year. And that wraps up my top 10 albums of 2024 list. As usual, I like to know what y'all think. Give me your lists in the comments. What was your favorite album or your top 10 albums of the year? Let me know. And until next time, thank y'all for watching.